I cannot get over the little Nellies here in the room.
What?
Last night's convention, I thought was unbelievable. Really, I don't know how you read it another way. I really don't. First of all, did you watch it on C-SPAN or did you watch it?
I watched it on my iPad.
Okay, so you watched it without commentary.
Yeah.
Okay, because that's different. I started watching it on Fox because I knew I couldn't handle the commentary on CNN. Started watching on Fox, and they kept interrupting, and I'm like, I don't care about anybody else right now. You could have Jesus commenting on it, and
you wouldn't want to see Jesus comment on it.
Only Jesus would know what the other guy was saying, so I could care about the commentary. So I switched it over to C-SPAN, and I was watching it on C-SPAN last night. Tanya just was not interested at all. She was like, I'm so tired of all of this. I don't even care. And I think that's the average.
Can't blame her for that.
Yeah, I think that's the average person, because I almost didn't watch it myself. I was just going to watch the clips. It was really good. So you disagree with my take? I felt this was 1980 Reagan.
Ooh.
You didn't think? Wait a minute. Wait. I'm not saying Donald Trump is Reagan.
Right.
I'm saying I haven't felt that way at a convention since Ronald Reagan, where we were so beaten down for so long, and finally a group of people get together and say, you know all that crap you've been hearing? None of that is true. Here's who we really are. And it's going to take all of us and the government getting out of the way to make us the nation we all know we can be. I haven't heard that since 1980, and it connected with me like crazy.
Yeah, that's apparent.
Wow, you didn't feel that way. No, I said last night on my first tweet, I said, maybe I'm alone in this. Maybe I'm alone.
No, I don't think you're alone. I think a lot of people loved it, and I liked it. There was a couple of segments that really rubbed me the wrong way.
Guilfoyle.
Guilfoyle was just awful. Oh my gosh, she was bad, and I did not like this segment. I thought it was self-serving. The whole segment that President Trump did with the discussion of the hostages, that was too much for me.
Really?
I don't like it.
I really liked it.
I could really live without the self-serving stuff. The patting himself on the back all the time.
And maybe I'm a little dead inside on that because I expect that. You know, you got that's Donald Trump. You're going to get that. But I didn't have a problem with it. He was deferential to the other nations. He kept saying, Erdogan was a big help. They didn't have to help. India didn't help. I could do
without praise of Erdogan in any situation.
No, I could too. I'm fine with it. But it came to me. It came off as diplomacy.
Right. Okay.
To me, it came off as I
Trump
need to make sure
diplomacy.
that
Yes.
Yeah. And I really didn't have a problem with it because I knew those stories. I knew a couple of those stories. I didn't necessarily know all the stories. I've never seen the people before on TV.
Yeah, I hadn't either.
And I'm like, I have no problem if nobody else tells your story. Sit down. Go ahead. Say, tell me what happened.
But clearly he could get people in the Republican Party to tell that story. I don't know. Is it more effective, though, to have these people say to him, like, thank you so much for what you did for me? I mean, maybe it is.
Yes. And it's like we learned this a long time ago. If you're coming to watch my show, you're coming to watch me. And the minute we take the camera and we put it on another individual and they take it for a while, it's not as effective. And it's not a grandiose thing of saying, oh, you got to keep the camera on me. It's just that some people can connect with the audience, and Donald Trump, at least with his base, does every time. And even without the base, you're watching him because you're either going, I can't believe somebody is doing this, or I know he's going to do something stupid, or I love it.
Yeah.
But he is the key to that.
I thought Sean Parnell was fantastic. I absolutely loved him. And I think he spoke for 5 minutes. That was great. I really liked Vernon Jordan from Georgia.
Yeah. I think
Herschel Walker.
We're trying to get Vernon Jordan on, or Herschel Walker today.
Both of them were great. I mean, absolutely great. And there's nothing better than a black Republican saying the things that they said last night about, especially Herschel, who's known him for 37 years and have been close to him for 37 years. And he said, look, I I didn't associate with a racist for 37 years. I thought it was really
Did you
effective.
notice, though,
really
that the difference, besides Herschel, did you know the difference last night was everybody during the convention last week was like, I know Joe. I've known him for 50 years, and he's great, and I've seen him. Of course, he hasn't really accomplished anything, but I know him. And last night was, I don't really know him. First time I met him.
Herschel.
Yeah, other than Herschel. First time I met him was because of this event, but I saw him firsthand on what he actually does. And so one was, I know him, you can trust him. The other is, I don't know him, but let me tell you what I saw him do, which I thought was really powerful.
Yeah, well, Vernon Jordan talked about a lot of what he has done.
I think it's Jones.
Oh, yeah,
Vernon Jordan was
the Clinton era. Wasn't he? Yeah.
No, you're right. It's Vernon Jones. He talked about what President Trump has done over the last 3 years. And it was pretty powerful.
I thought Tim Scott was really
and
powerful.
Tim Scott was good, too.
He was fantastic. He's a star.
He is a star.
I'd go for a Haley Scott or Scott Haley ticket 2024 in a heartbeat.
They're going to be among the leaders, I bet.
Kristi Noem. Kristi Noem will be in it.
She's going to be talked about as well. And obviously Pence is going to be a big factor in that if he feels like running. The Herschel Walker thing was really, I thought, really interesting in that's a really powerful testimony of a guy who's known him for a long time.
Yep.
As the USFL, there's a connection there.
Yeah.
This is solely for Pat. I went back and looked at Herschel Walker's career in the USFL. It is insane. His 1985 season, he had 2,411 yards rushing on 438 carries with 21 touchdowns. He threw in like another 467 yards receiving, almost 3,000 yards from scrimmage in that season. I mean,
that's insane.
No wonder he had to. I mean, eventually you got to get hurt when you're doing that. I mean, that's carrying an entire franchise on your back for 3 years.
Yeah,
that is an I mean, I knew he was great, but I mean, I had forgotten how that's the most dominant season by a running back in professional history.
Yeah,
that is. I know Glenn's looking at me like, what the hell are these words? What is he even saying?
I think this is
numbers. What numbers?
I'm gonna take
what are thou numbers?
I'm going to take it from you. This is impressive. The guy who was like, last night was okay. So, what did you think of the McCloskeys?
I missed the McCloskeys.
Okay, some people are saying, I don't know, it was very effective. Again, these are the people that were in St. Louis that had to defend themselves and then were threatened with jail by the prosecutor.
And aren't they Democrats?
I think they are.
Yeah.
And they were, it was, I thought it was very effective to have real people. The Democrats chose to put celebrities up. The Republicans chose to put real people up, which usually doesn't work out well.
A lot of times.
And it did. I thought the McCloskeys or whatever their names are, I thought if you're a suburbanite and you're worried about people walking down the street in the middle of the night with a guillotine, I thought their message was really powerful. Really powerful.
Yeah, I thought that was a strange fit for a convention in that, usually so much of that is stagecraft, right? It's like they have Ann Dorn coming in and speaking during this convention, which seems to me to be a perfect addition to a Republican convention. This is the wife of the black police officer that was going to try to help in one of these riots and was murdered. That is like communicating, I think, in a really powerful way the negative side of everything that's glorified in the media with these riots, mostly peaceful protests, where the McCloskeys struck me more as they looked like they're very, very, very rich people, which are not let's not normally acknowledge.
They're Democrats,
which is good. They're out there with maybe not the best trigger discipline.
They're Democrats again. They're Democrats.
Yeah,
their guns don't work again. They're Democrats.
I mean, it was interesting, and I guess they did pretty well. Which is, I wouldn't have said necessarily it was a textbook good pick. But, it seemed like
I don't think any of the stuff that they did last night would be textbook at all. I just thought it was effective, and especially, everything was last week. The the press was saying, oh, how uplifting it was. I don't know where you found the uplift unless you hate America and you think, oh, finally, America's going to be over. Right. You know what I mean? Right. Finally, we're going to get rid of this anchor around our neck. Everything was about how bad we were, how racist we were, and how once we really social, distance, like you're in a gulag and I'm not, when we really social distance, then we'll fix America and it'll be great. I don't find that a positive, uplifting message. This one was. I mean, the difference between everyone saying all we need to do is get people out of the way, get government out of the way. You are the key. You can do it. Stop listening to people saying that you are bad. You're not bad. That's very uplifting.